This past Sunday, the Seahawks defeated the Niners, and the person who made the winning play was Richard Sherman. He's the cornerback for the Seahawks. And after the game, Erin Andrews had a post-game interview with him, and everyone's talking about it because he was very, very angry as he was answering her questions. Now, unfortunately, we can't show you the video. I'm going to read you the transcript from the post-game interview, and just keep in mind that he is yelling at the top of his lungs as he's answering these questions.
Now, okay? I think a lot of people have seen it already.
Yeah.
I like reading the transcript a little better because it sounds hilarious. So let's have fun.
All right, I'm going to read it in a normal tone. So Fox's Erin Andrews says, take me through it. She's referring to the interception. Sherman screaming, well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Michael Crabtree, that's the result you are going to get. Don't you ever talk about me. And then that was when Andrews said, who's talking about you? And he clarified, Crabtree, don't open your mouth about the best or I'm going to shut it for you real quick. LOB, and that's an abbreviation for Legion of Boom, which is now the best abbreviation ever created, and I will use it even though I'm not referring to myself as the Seahawks defense.
Okay.
Legion of Boom, that's awesome. Where did they come up with that?
All right, so let me explain all that, clarify some things, and then we'll get into Richard Sherman, because I love the controversy, and I'm going to settle whether he's a good guy or a bad guy, and whether his critics are racist or not, okay? So that'll be fun. So first of all, it's Crabtree. If you're a football fan, you know that. Second of all, there's a lot of different plays that happen in the game. Obviously, the Richard Sherman play was at the very end. That's why they're saying it's the winning play. I just want to give proper credit in football terms. Malcolm Smith, who ran down and actually picked the ball off, is not getting enough credit. Yes, Sherman batted it down. If Smith wasn't there, San Francisco would have had a couple of more plays and probably would have scored. So run to the ball, run to the ball. I love Seattle's defense, even though I lost a lot of money. Okay, yes. Anyway, so now on to the controversy. Look, Richard Sherman is a fascinating dude.
He's been in trouble in the past for saying things that are, not polite, I guess, toward other players.
To say the least, right? Now, and the Legion of Boom is not just the defense, it's the Seattle 12th man. They're so loud that's why they call them the Legion of Boom.
Oh, I see.
Okay, that's where they came up with it. And so he's saying, yeah, our guys are the best, your guys are the worst. I believe this is called trash talking. Now, the problem with Richard Sherman's trash talking is that it's after the game. And so I actually like Richard Sherman overall, and he's a fascinating character, and he's a little too angry, and I'm going to give him a tip in a second, all right? But you already won the game, Richard, and you were going to be the hero. So, and I like you being, I hate the standard cliched interviews. We gave it 110%, thank you, Erin, yeah. When Erin Andrews has to say, who said bad things about you? It was a great moment. We had television. That was fun, right? What I didn't like when what Richard Sherman did was before the interview. Like, he went up to Crabtree and patted him in the ass, which was fun, and said, you had a nice game. I think at that point, for a split second, he might have been earnest. Crabtree didn't take it that way and shoved him in his face mask.
So Sherman actually had an interview where he was clarifying what he said, right? And so I want to give my points on, what I thought about the interview, the post-game interview, but I also want him to clarify why he acted the way that he did. So here's what he said to the press. I ran over to Crabtree to shake his hand, but he ignored me. I patted him, stuck out my hand and said, good game, good game. That's when he shoved my face, and that's when I went off. He continues to say, I threw a choking sign at 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick. Why? Because he decided he was going to try the guy he was avoiding all game, because I don't know, he's probably not paying attention for the game-winning play. Come on, you're better than that.
Yeah, no, but I would say the same exact thing to Richard Sherman. Come on, you're better than that, man. Don't throw the choking sign. So that's what made me rule against Richard Sherman. Because it's one thing when you're trash talking, especially in the middle of the game and before the game. It's another thing that after you already won and made a great play, you go over to Kaepernick. You say Crabtree set you off. But dude, he doesn't know whether you're being earnest or not. And he just went through an incredibly painful moment, and you're up in his face. You're up in his face, right? Then you go do this to Kaepernick? No, fuck off.
So let me jump in. So I watched the post-game interview. For those of you who don't know anything about me, I don't follow sports at all. So I don't have a winning a team that I'm supporting. I don't care, right? But as I was watching that, was he animated? Was he being rude to the other players, unsportsmanlike behavior? Absolutely. But at the same time, I think that we hold a really ridiculous standard for athletes, right? Like, we want them to be superhumans, as if they have absolutely no emotions and absolutely no feelings, right? So they're supposed to pretend as if if someone's talking smack about them, they're not supposed to react to it at all. No, I mean, you got to put yourself in that position as well. We all have our faults. We all have our moments when our emotions get the best of us, right? So just let it go. And I think the people that are going out of their minds and just totally like tearing this guy apart are probably Niners fans, and they're just hating on him anyway.
No. It's not about that. So one of the questions is it racial? And part of the problem is Twitter. Here we go, right? Twitter's not a person, but there's a bunch of people on Twitter who calling him a thug. It's the most obvious code word in the world. They didn't call Incognito, who was an actual thug, a thug. But when Richard Sherman does it and he's loud and he's black, he's a thug, right? Mm-hmm. Richard Sherman, by the way, went to Stanford. Okay, it was second in his class in high school. You might not like the guy, but the guy's smart, okay? Now, whether what he did was smart, look, I just told you I didn't like the choking move, and it made me not like him, when otherwise, I'm with you, Anna, he's entertaining, it's interesting, etc. Do it before the game, don't do it after the game. So we're gonna judge all that. I'm gonna need you to drop it. Okay, so in order to judge what he did that day, we're going to have to look at context too, right? Because he got in a fight with Skip Bayless.
Yes,
right?
he did.
So Skip Bayless, that goes. And the reason I bring that up now is because Anna made a really good point there. Look, they're constantly in the players' faces. Skip Bayless, who's an asshole, let's just be honest about who he is, right? Talked about how Richard Sherman's not in the same league as Darrelle Revis, who's another great cornerback. Ridiculous comment to make. Richard Sherman, probably the #1 cornerback in the league right now. So now, but Richard Sherman's supposed to sit there and take it, right? So he goes on with Skip Bayless, and he doesn't take it.
No.
He says, do you have the quotes?
I do have the quotes.
Give him the exact quotes. I love
Yes, and this was about 10 months ago. He said, I'm at the top of my field. I'm all pro. I'm one of the best 22 players in the NFL. You're going to brush it off, but I don't think you're the best 22 anything. In sports and media and anything. I think you think more of yourself than you actually can prove. I'll put it like this. In my 24 years of life, I'm better at life than you. Damn.
Now look, some people hate that. That I loved. Okay, because he's like, look, I know your job is to talk smack about me all day long, but I'm allowed to get pissed about it. I'm not allowed to come right back at you, right? So it's just when Muhammad Ali did his trash talking, he had a smile on his face, and it was a little tongue-in-cheek, and that's why some people hated him back then too. Don't get me wrong, okay? But some people liked him. Sherman looks too angry, right? Mm-hmm. Even in the Bayless interview, which I loved, he looked a little too angry, right? And when you throw in the choking sign, I'm like, oh, you almost had it, dude, but then you lost me on that. Justice Jackson, thoughts?
I'm so much behind Richard Sherman, it's ridiculous. I was already rooting for these guys, once my team sucked all season. So this is great. This is what I love. We talked about how we don't like cookie cutter answers, the same old thing. Well, that team is really great. Michael Crabtree's one of the best wide receivers in the league, and I was just lucky to get my hand on it. Fuck that. That's not what any of them are thinking, and we know that. If there's microphones on the field, by the way, I'm sure Crabtree said some messed up things the entire game and beforehand. And like he mentioned, the reason he doesn't like him is from the beginning off season. They had a little conversation. Yeah. That Crabtree said something disrespectful. So these things fuel guys. They like to go at it. I think that's fine. So if this is why it's a problem to talk trash. You might lose. And Michael Crabtree talked trash and he lost. The consequences of talking trash and losing is you have to listen to the guy go, what now? Which is all this is, which is all pat on the ass is take it now. Look what you have to deal with. I get to taunt you. Because the game's over now. Yeah. I think trash talking can continue just after the game. I think that's fine.
I think it's stupid to do the trash talking because sometimes if you're dealing with a guy who's going to get rattled, it makes sense. If you're dealing with a guy who's going to step up his game like Richard Sherman, I wouldn't do it. I've played against guys who step up their game. That's when I hush up. And by the way, it's stupid because Michael Crabtree's a great receiver and Richard Sherman is an awesome cornerback. So both of them saying you suck is just juvenile, right? No, they're both great, right? So, but I'm voting guilty based on the choke thing because that looks bad, right? It does. It just rubs me the wrong way, and I get why people are pissed about that. You already won the game. Move on to the Super Bowl. Move on with your life. don't rub it in once you won. That's just totally wrong to me. Amir, are we going to get a ruling from you?
I kind of like what Anna was saying. Like, everyone wants these people to act a certain way in front of like the camera and whatever, and you can't say certain things. And in this instant, he didn't do that, and people are pissed at him for behaving that way. So I'm going to say not guilty. The cameras caught him at a weird time, and he said what was on his mind. So nothing wrong with that.
So, Anna, you're not guilty as well?
I'm going to go with not guilty. I despise fake modesty, so there's something refreshing about him being confident and sharing that with the world, so not guilty.
I see. I'm not guilty overall on Richard Sherman in the full context. There's no better quote than "I'm better at life than you." Okay, but in this instance, I'm voting guilty. Okay, but I got outvoted here 3-1. Not guilty on all counts. Now, finally, on the fans, look. So there is some racial component, as I mentioned earlier, but I'm actually going to vote not guilty on the fans who are hating on Richard Sherman too, because I actually think the bigger component is non-racial. It's generational. Okay, so
really?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why, because I'm part of the older generation, and we grew up when you played football. The mantra was Vince Lombardi say, "Son, act like you've been there before." Right? When one of his players, scored a touchdown, he was celebrating, etc., and Lombardi pulls him aside and says that. Right? So that's what we grew up in. So a lot of people who are in the older bracket see what Richard Sherman did, and it drives them crazy, outside of any racial component. So I think that's why they're rubbed the wrong way by Richard Sherman more than anything else. And I get that reaction, so I'm voting not guilty.
Yeah, I have nothing but respect for people that just don't like that kind of behavior, and there's no racial component to it at all. But the majority, I would say, of people that are hating him, especially on social media, for them, there is a racial component, and they're very clear about that. You mentioned the word thug. Yeah, some of them might use that code word. Some of them are just outright blatant about their racism. I mean, it's insane. Let me read you a few of the tweets that we managed to find. One person writes, Jay Clutch writes, Richard Sherman is a joke, ha ha ha. Fucking ugly nigger. I hate niggers, to be honest. I don't give a fuck. He's a nigger. There's a difference between black people.
Yeah, that last part. I mean, look, I got it, right? That guy's a racist. The part that drives me crazy is there's a difference. Like, I know some good black people, but the rest of them, okay. Anyway.
And that's just one of many. I mean, I don't want to go through.
I know you got dozens.
List.
I know.
Yeah.
But dozens of people on Twitter doesn't mean majority. Okay. I think the majority of people who watched Richard Sherman and was turned off by him are because they're from the old school. Okay. I think that there's a vocal minority, yes, that has clear racial component to why they don't like Richard Sherman, right? But overall, I'm voting not guilty. Justice Jackson.
On the fans?
Yeah, on the Sherman haters.
They're totally guilty. This is what I'm talking about. So you get to be a rabid, crazy person, but the guy playing and actually doing something with his life has to sit down and go, it was a good game. But you get to go, motherfucker, and call these names and lose your shit, which fans do. It's unequal ground, man. He's a human, you're human. If you don't think he should do it, why should you get to do it? And you're not even doing the same thing. You're just being a racist asshole.
I have to give Justice Jackson credit there. I love that there's I can't believe he trash talked. Now let me call him the N-word 12 times.
I know, it's ridiculous. It really is.
But those guys are obviously guilty. All I'm saying is I don't think they represent the majority.
All right,
but I think I'm going to get
enough.
outvoted again. Amir.
Without a doubt, the fans are guilty. The whole situation actually kind of reminds me of...
I've been wrong all weekend. Why not keep it going?
Well, the whole situation, let me just say, it kind of reminds me of the Kanye West controversy that happened a month ago, where he got up on, I forget what show it was, and he said, I am a god. And everyone was so pissed off because here's the guy that should be put in his place, you should be humble or whatever. It's not exactly the same thing, but people are kind of
People expect the fake modesty, and I hate that. People should be happy with others that are genuine. Okay, at least he's not lying about who he is, right? He thinks highly of himself. At least he's being honest about that. I can't stand athletes or celebrities that go up there to accept an award or something, and they're like, oh, thank you so much. It's because of everyone else that I'm here. When in the back of their minds, they're thinking, I fucking earned this, bitches. You know what I mean? It drives me crazy.
Well, it would be more entertaining. Look, I'm outvoted again, but I really do think you guys are wrong, because a lot of those same guys love Russell Wilson. He's also black, but he's a super classy dude, and he goes to children's hospitals, yada, yada, and they love him. Richard Sherman, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
You're going to get the whole world to watch that Super Bowl because you want to see Peyton Manning versus Richard Sherman? You betcha.